guys, welcome back to Play on Footy. Been a while. I just wanted to do a bit of a news update for the season of 2025. If you know, you know. If you don't, Nick Newman out for the season over a serious knee injury, and he ruptured his patella tendon, which I think is the tendon behind the knee. So, yeah, it's just as bad as doing an ACL, apparently. And look, Nick Newman was one of those players throughout the year last year for the Blues that was basically a part of the spine. So, he really was the rebounding defender, the number one rebounding defender for the Blues. And, it really sucks because, Carlton were really the favourites. Everyone in Victoria would be saying the same thing. That Carlton would have been the favourites this year going into season 2025. And I think it just sucks that they've had this to contend with. And, he's 32 years old. He left the track pretty early, so you knew it was pretty serious. And he did it on his left knee. His manager, Brad Lloyd, is obviously really disappointed with it all. He's a leader of the club and he's highly regarded player at the club. He was obviously traded to the Blues from Sydney and has really flourished at the Blues. And it just sucks that, he's only played 93 games for the club since crossing from Sydney at 2018. But, he's been one of those players that's just helped this guy, get the pill a bit more from that back half. As well as Cripps and then to finish off with Curnow and Mackay up forward to convert. But yeah, as I said, he's been a real big part of the spine for the Blues, and this is not what Vossi wants. This is not what Michael Voss, the coach of the Blues, wants. And I think, going forward, it's like, well, who's going to plug that hole? Now, there has been a couple of suggestions, especially amongst the AFL fantasy community, and as you guys are aware from my last video that I posted, I'm actually going to be pretty heavily invested in AFL fantasy this coming year of 2025. My first AFL fantasy year was last year, and so I was actually going to pick this guy for my backline. I heard the news, and unfortunately, I've had to reverse that. But it really does suck. So who's going to plug the hole for the Blues, and who should we be looking out for? Well, there's one name, or two names, I should say, in particular. There's Ollie Hollands. Now, Ollie Hollands really is one of those young up-and-coming players for the Blues that really does hold the key. And what I mean by that is he does have the flexibility and adaptability to go into the midfield as well as that half-back role. He's one of those rebounding runners, similar type, say, to a sort of a, who do I link him to? Probably a Clark from Fremantle. He's got that sort of rebound, sort of athleticism, that can do it. So would he be the one that would fill the spot for Nick Newman? Potentially. Another name, an old staple of the Blues, is Doherty, Sam Doherty. Now, he was injured for most part of last year. Although in saying that, he did come back the game against the Lions at the Gabba, where they ultimately were like 9 goals down at half time. And they, ended up losing that elimination final to the Lions, who went on to win the premiership. So, yeah, I think that it's down to those two players. For me, I think it's Doherty and Ollie Hollands. If I was to put money down, I think it would be a 60-40 split, meaning Doherty would probably have 60% of Nick Newman's role, and then Ollie Hollands would have about 40% game time of Nick Newman's role. And it would really just come down to who is best suited and who adapts the quickest to the game plan that they've already got constructed. So I think that's what's going to be happening there. It's shocking news if you're a Blue supporter. Not a great start to the year that you'd have wanted, especially to one of your most important backmen. And when you think of the Blues backline, you got Mitch McGovern. Sometimes Zach Williams goes back there, and obviously Doherty, but the backline is something that's sort of lacking. Now, Jacob Wiedering, no disrespect to him, he's a great player. He struggled at times last year with that back, managing the backline at times. And I think, Nick Newman, that's why he stood out so much, because he really did step up, especially towards sort of the mid to back end of last season. So this is a real shame to lose Nick. In other news for the Blues, Luke Luke Sayers, is that how you say it? Just steps down despite being cleared by AFL after a lewd pic scandal. So basically, Sayers had a dick pic sent out on his platform X, which was formerly known as Twitter. And it was a graphic photo that was tweeted from his account in early January with, I should say, it says here with, the name of a senior female executive at a major Blues corporate partner. So he quickly deleted it on his account and said he was hacked. How convenient. And there he is there looking nice and smug next to Vossi, who's, he's just looking absolutely, look at this meathead, blah, blah. No, I don't know. I got no idea. But yeah, look, it's not great news if you're a Blues fan, on top of the Nick Newman injury, as well as a hamstring injury to Walshy. So he's going to be at least out for a month. That's just terrible start to the season. And you'd hate to see it, especially when this guy's got so much mounting pressure and high hopes for his team of his players to get them one better than last season. And look, if you ask me, they've had the Brownlow winner, Patrick Cripps, 2-time winner. And I think that if there's any pressure, it'd be probably Nick Stevens, Justin Longmire, and this guy, especially if he doesn't deliver this season. Of course, there's others like Luke Beveridge, who's probably under fire as well. I did make a video on that if you want to go and have a look on my channel. I did do it under pressure coaches that are under pressure for 2025. But yeah, it just sucks. Like, I think he wasn't even in the job for that long, this guy, Luke Sayers. So yeah, it's just not what you want as a Blues supporter. This is a terrible start to the season. I know it's all sort of negative news. I'm trying to have some sort of positive spin on it, but I just cannot find one. No, it just really sucks. Really sucks for Blues at this given time. And look, we've got a bit of a stoush here with who's it? I can't remember his name, but it's the Warner brothers. And Chad Warner and his brother, is it Kyle or Carl? I can't remember. Please, Corey, brother Corey. There we go, brother Corey. And they're obviously fighting over who gets the house in Applecross in WA come next season, or it's the fact that his brother Corey doesn't even have anywhere else to go except to stay in Sydney, and he's pissed off. And I think that's what the reason is here. They clearly just have, they've got a long season ahead together, and so does the Sydney Swans with Chad Warner, especially when they know that he is looking to exit to WA next season. I think that's pretty shit, to be honest, from Chad, even though I'm an Eagles supporter. Another injury, this one was for Elliot Yeo. So he had he got pinned in a tackle and his knee got caught up into it. So yeah, he's off for scans. Davey Jr. for the Bombers, he's had, a bit of a knee injury as well. So he's going to be out for a bit. What else is news for the AFL at the moment? I think that's really about it. But let's have a look at fantasy. Oh, they're talking about Butters. Yeah, look, so Butters. So Port Adelaide was number one, only conceding 1,448 points per game. Power can stop the points, but can they score them at the same time? Zach Butters, 1.089 is what he's going for. He averaged a career high 106 last season and improved his average of 100 from 2023. Based on average, Butters ranks as the 7th best midfielder in the game and will be a high priority pick for many on draft day. There we go. And they got Wines at 9.30 and Travis Boak at 7.69. I cannot believe Travis Boak is going another year. I mean, look at this guy. He's unbelievable. I think season number 20 for him. Connor Rosie, again, I think he's going to have a big year, this guy. I've got him in my fantasy team, actually, instead of Butters. I just think he's primed for a big season. I think last season in 2024 with his injuries, I just don't think you should discount him. Butters is good, don't get me wrong, but Rosie, he's definitely got another element of his game that I think will shine this year. That's why I've gone with him over Butters. And I think Jordan Sweet, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, yeah, Jordan Sweet absolutely, wrecked me last year. And look, rightly so, but you got to understand, Jordan Sweet, he's the number one ruck at Port right now. And so Ivan Soldo, he's got to really buy back some trust and faith, not only from his teammates, but other people at the club, including his coach, Ken Hinkley. So Soldo's really on the ropes. So Jordan Sweet, if you pick him, I think, I think he might do a lot better. I think he might really be pushing the 900, 950 mark and really be up there with, like, say, Grundy, or, potentially even higher than that, and get right up there to, like, Tim English spec level. Like, who knows? He's only 26. So, he's not old by any means. Jack Lukosius is another one as well. Again, I don't really know. I haven't really picked him yet. I'm a little bit tentative, to be honest. So, but yeah, a lot of people have gone JHF for their forward line. I just don't know if I want to pay that much for him, especially if he's going to be splitting his time forward and in the middle. I just don't know. I'm just not really completely sold on that, to be honest. So yeah, what do you guys reckon? Comment down below, like and subscribe. Kane Farrell. Yeah, before I go, he's a bit of a sleeper, this guy. And look, he, with Dan Houston gone, I think he'd be definitely one to consider. He's basically going to be plugging that hole from Houston, and also, I know you got Miles Bergman, but I think Farrell, I think he might be able to really go, to another level this season. So, if you're sitting on the fence between Bergman or Farrell, because I know I think Farrell would be the one to go for. He will definitely get a lot more time down back to get that peel now that Houston has departed. So, yeah, definitely watch that space as well. But what do you guys reckon? Comment down below, like and subscribe. If you're a Blues supporter, what do you think of the knee injury to Newman? And also, if you're a Blues supporter, what do you think of Walsh's hamstring injury, as well as, the Luke Sayers incident from your own, club president? It's just not a great look, is it? So, yeah, there you go. If there's anything else that pops up in between now and I guess tomorrow or today, I would definitely be posting. Until next time, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.